Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and I'm finally here to bring you guys my 15th episode of my series Rank It All. And this episode is actually going to be different. I'm not going to be doing a band or a singer. I'm going to be doing all number ones. And what do I mean by all number ones? Well, I'm going to take every number one from the first 14 episodes of this series and rank them from least favorite to favorite. So yeah, it wasn't really all that easy coming up with this list because I like all of these because they were all of my favorite albums from these bands and one singer. So yeah, other than that, let's gonna get started with this episode. Okay, coming in at number 14 is gonna be Smackdown vs. Raw 2010 featuring ECW. And this is the PS3 version, and this is actually my favorite wrestling game for PS3. Really great game. Used to play it a lot on PS2, but yeah, I ranked like all of my PS3 wrestling games from least favorite to favorite, and I put this at number 1. So yeah, and that was in episode 2 of Rank It All. So if you guys haven't saw that episode yet, be sure to check it out, guys. So number 14 is going to be Smackdown vs. Raw 2010. Really great game, but it had to be number 14 because it's not music. Okay, number 13 is going to be Silver Side Up by Nickelback. My favorite Nickelback album, but I don't think it's the best album on this list, even though it is my favorite Nickelback album. So that explains why I'm putting it in at number 13 within all of my number ones. Not a bad album, it's great, but the rest of the material left from these other bands I think is better. But yeah, though, my favorites on this album though would be Never Again, How You Remind Me, Too Bad, Just For. I think Moneyball was pretty good, and Good Times Gone, but yeah, really great album for sure. Definitely their best album in my opinion. Okay, number 12. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention for Silver Side Up, and it was for episode 11. My bad, guys. But yeah, when I done Nickelback rankings, when I done the Rank It All for Nickelback, it was from episode 11. Alright, now we can move on to number 12. Number 12 is going to be the Black Album by Metallica. You guys are probably like, dang, this is his favorite Metallica album, but he has it this low within his all number ones. Yes, because I don't think it's the best metal album that's on this list, or rock album, or whatever. So, yeah, that explains why it's so low within the ranking, but still a great album. Favorites from it would be Inner Sandman, Sad But True, The Unforgiven, Wherever I May Roam, Don't Tread on Me, Nothing Else Matters, The God That Failed, and The Struggle Within. Some great songs here. Definitely my favorite album by them, but it has to have a place somewhere within all of my number ones. Coming in at number 12, Metallica's The Black Album, and this episode for Metallica was for episode 14. Okay, number 11 is Hybrid Theory by Linkin Park, and Linkin Park Rank It All was episode 4. This is my favorite Linkin Park album. A lot of people have Meteor as their favorite, but my favorite is actually Hybrid Theory. I think Meteor is great. It's my second favorite Linkin Park album, and my favorite is Hybrid Theory. And yeah, favorites on this album would be Paper Cut, One Step Closer, With You, Points of Authority, Crawling, Runaway, By Myself, and then, as you guys can see, I do enjoy this whole album, so it's not really easy to pick out favorites from. Great album. Definitely one of the best debut albums of all time, in my opinion. So, yeah, guys, definitely check out this album, and if you're not into nu metal, I think this album can get you there, because it's a nu metal classic. and it'll actually be 20 years old sometime this year, if it hasn't turned 20 yet. But yeah, great album for sure, and definitely my favorite Linkin Park album. Check it out, guys, if you guys want to start new metal. So if you want to get into new metal, this won't be a bad start, because it is a great album from start to finish. Great stuff. So yeah, number 11, Hybrid Theory by Linkin Park. And like I said, Linkin Park's Rank It All episode was episode 4. Okay, number 10 is Storm the Gates of Hell by Demon Hunter. Actually, this is my favorite Demon Hunter album. Great stuff for sure. This is a special edition. I'm sorry guys if you guys see a line through the digipack thing. It just gets messed up sometimes getting it in and out of the shelf. But yeah, great album for sure. Definitely my favorite by them. Their other albums are great, but this is my number 1 for Demon Hunter. Great album. Favorite stuff from it would be the title track, Storm the Gates of Hell. 16 is a great song. Carry Me Down, I Am You, Thorns, The Wrath of God. Even the 2 bonus tracks are great. So yeah, great album for sure. Demon Hunter, Storm the Gates of Hell. And at number 10, and when I done Demon Hunter, Rank It All, that was from episode 7. Alright guys, we're halfway there now. Okay, coming in at number 9 is Faceless by Godsmack. And when I done Godsmack's Rank It All, it was episode 10, and it's actually my most viewed episode out of all of the Rank It Alls so far. So thanks everyone that checked out that video. So yeah, number 9, Faceless by Godsmack. Easily my favorite album by them. A lot of people would probably have Awake or the self-titled at number 1, but I don't think the self-titled is bad or anything, but it's not one of my favorites by them. It wasn't even in my top 3. But as far as Faceless goes, it's my number 1 Godsmack album. My favorite Godsmack album of all time out of everything they ever put out. Great album for sure. Every single song on this album is amazing. But other than that though, it's coming in at number 9. Still a great album though, regardless of where I put it at in this ranking. Just like the other albums are great as well though, but they had to go somewhere in the ranking, guys. But yeah, number 9, Faceless by Godsmack, and Godsmack's episode Rank It All was episode 10. Great album for sure. Okay, number 8 is, let me make sure I got it right, guys. Okay, yeah. Number 8 is Nightmare by Avenged Sevenfold. You guys already know this is my favorite album by them. Great album for sure. Censored version, because I got this at Walmart probably around 2 or 3 years ago. Well, it's been longer than 2 years. It's probably been around close to 3 years. But yeah, definitely a great album for sure. My favorite from them. Not a single bad song on this album. I do think it's overrated, as I said in my overrated metal albums video, but still a great album for sure, and my favorite by them. Not a single bad track on this album. Great stuff. And when I done Avenged Sevenfold's episode for Rank It All, is episode 13. Okay, number 7 is The Sound of Madness by Shinedown. You guys already know this is my favorite album from Shinedown. Great stuff. Their other albums are great as well, but this one definitely takes the cake for me. Great album. Not a single bad track on this album again. Fantastic, for sure. Amazing album. If you guys want to get into Shinedown, this would be a great start, because Second Chance from this album was actually the first song I ever heard from Shinedown back in 2008. So, yeah, great song for sure, and amazing album. And I'm definitely glad I got into this band. But yeah, this is my favorite from Shinedown, without a doubt. Amazing album. So, Shinedown, when I ranked all their albums, is for episode 12. Alright, let me go ahead and move the rest of these off of the CD tower thing so I can pick them up and be a little bit easier for me. Okay, number 6 is going to have to be Shogun by Trivium. Amazing album for sure. Definitely my favorite by them. A lot of people have this as their number one, but it's also my favorite Trivium album. Very fantastic for sure. Favorites though from this album would be Kirasu Gomen. The very first song I ever heard from Trivium was actually Down From The Sky because of Smackdown vs. Raw 2010. Great song. Now when I first heard the song on that video game, I didn't even know who the band was, but as I got older, I learned it was Trivium. So yeah, that's the song that got me into the band. Great song. Into the Mouth of Hell We March is a great one. Throes of Perdition was great. The title track is really great too, but I prefer this version of the album because if you get the special edition, the title track is actually cut short a little bit, but I actually prefer this version because I wouldn't want to listen to the title track cut a little bit short, you know. But yeah, overall though, this album is amazing and definitely check it out if you want to get into Trivium. This won't be a bad start because to me it is their best album, so it won't be a bad start if you want to get into Trivium. Great album for sure. Number 6, Trivium in their album Shogun, and when I done Rank It All for Trivium, it was my 8th episode of Rank It All. Okay, number 5, you guys are probably thinking, how is this above your metal albums or your rock albums? But remember, these albums are all great in their own way, but this album right here coming in at number 5 means a lot to me, so that explains why it's coming in at number 5. And it's gonna have to be Blown Away by Carrie Underwood. You guys already know that I am a fan of Carrie Underwood, but this is easily my favorite album by her. It's her album Blown Away, her 2012 album. Amazing album for sure. Definitely loved it. Holds a special place in my heart for many reasons. But yeah, amazing album, and this album will never let me down, for sure. Definitely her best album in my opinion. You guys don't have to agree, but to me, it's her best album. So yeah, and at number 5, Blown Away by Carrie Underwood. And when I done Carrie Underwood's Rank It All episode, it was episode 3. So yeah, let's go and move on into the ranking, guys. Okay, number 4 is Screaming Fire by Bullet for My Valentine. My favorite album by them, if you guys didn't know that. Amazing stuff, for sure. Definitely their best album. Some people would say The Poison's their best album, or even Fever, but I disagree because I think Screaming Fire is their best. This is the standard edition of the album, but it's still the Digipack version. Great album for sure. Not a bad song on it, so that explains why it's coming in at number 4. Great album for sure, guys. Great stuff. So yeah, number 4, Screaming Fire, Bullet for My Valentine. And when I done Bullet for My Valentine's Rank It All, it was episode 6. Sorry guys, I had to look on my paper there because I wrote them all down. Okay, number 3 is Vulgar Display of Power by Pantera. My favorite Pantera album, if you guys didn't know that already. Great stuff, for sure. Definitely one of their best albums. Actually, their best. What am I talking about? Their best, because it is my favorite for them. So, yeah, great album for sure, but if I had to pick out favorites of those would be Mouth for War, A New Level, Walk, Fucking Hostile, This Love, Regular People Conceit, By Demons Be Driven. Sorry guys. By Demons Be Driven. I have a tendency of talking fast, guys, so bear with me. I apologize about that. But yeah, another favorite though would be the closing track, Hollow. Amazing album. So yeah, coming in at number 3, Vulgar Display Power by Pantera. And when I done Pantera's Rank It All episode, it was episode 1. So yeah, number 3, Vulgar Display Power by Pantera. Great album. Okay, number 2 is Iowa by Slipknot. My favorite Slipknot album, as a lot of people but that's not a bad thing. It's a great thing because this album is heavy and dark, and yeah, some really amazing metal here. Just go in the pit and mosh, guys. That's how great this album is. Headbang your head off when you jam to this because it's so damn good. Easily my favorite by them, without a doubt. Their other albums are great too, but this one takes the cake for me, for sure. Amazing album. So it had to be in my top 2 within this ranking because, yeah, amazing album. My favorite Slipknot album. So yeah, number 2, Iowa by Slipknot. And when I done Slipknot's Rank It All, it was for episode 5. So yeah, that leaves us with one more album to go, and that is going to be my number 1 pick. So my number 1 pick within this ranking is going to have to be 3 Days Grace and their album 1X, their 2006 album. Easily my favorite album by 3 Days Grace. So many amazing songs. Fantastic album from start to finish. So yeah, not a single bad track on this album whatsoever. But if I was gonna list off some favorites though, it'd be Pain, Animal I Have Become, Never Too Late, Riot, Get Out Alive, Over and Over, and the title track 1X. Those are all my favorites from this album, but like I said, this album is great from start to finish. So yeah, guys, that's gonna wrap it up for this episode of Rank It All. But when I done episode for 3 Days Grace, when I done Rank It All for 3 Days Grace, it was episode 9. But yeah, guys, this has been episode 15 of my series Rank It All. And for this one, I took all of my number 1s from the first 14 episodes and ranked them from 14 all the way to number 1. But yeah, guys, let me know what y'all think. And yeah, I'll see you on the next video. Take care. Thanks for watching. And yeah, peace.